Is it just me, or do you feel stuck when it comes to planning your menus? I'm actually going to be heading to the grocery store here in just a little bit, and so I'm just doing some chicken scratch on a piece of paper. Let me kind of show you the setup, because I get so frustrated when I walk into the store and I don't know what to get. All right, so today's Friday. Friday's taken care of. So I'm just going to plan from Saturday down to Friday, okay? I've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'm going to do some breakfasts on repeat. And then I'm going to kind of focus in on just really short lunches, but the dinner will be the main focus because that's usually where my husband likes a bigger meal, even though I would prefer a larger meal at lunch. And then we might have our kids here on Sunday night. So I'm going to take a little closer look at that. And this happens to be Valentine's Day, and I'm already thawing some steaks that I already have. So the steak part won't be part of the menu. But down here, my daughter really loves my meatballs, and she loves my sloppy joes, and she loves my meatloaf. And those would be things that we would come back to and eat even if they weren't here. So I'm probably going to do something like that. But I'm really going to focus on whole foods. So when I get this written out, you're going to kind of see just basically like a really light lunch with a supper that's got like a protein, a carb, and a vegetable. Okay, I penciled in breakfast, and I think I can get by basically with 3 different things. So I'm going to just this week focus on egg omelets with some sort of fruit. And I'm going to do that on Saturday, and then I'm going to repeat that whole process then on Wednesday. So it'll go egg omelet with fruit, scrambled eggs with fruit, and then just plain old oatmeal. Okay, so those are going to be our, and Tuesday's my like not anything day. So I decided avocado toast, and then again, just repeating that just to keep my grocery list in check. And I already have some of these things at home, so that's going to cut down our costs. Okay, so I think for lunch, we're going to do tuna sandwiches with some cut up raw veggies on Saturday. We'll probably run those raw veggies through the rest of the lunches until they're gone. So I'll just make a simple quesadilla on Sunday. We'll probably use the leftovers starting on Monday, or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm thinking Tuesday I'll probably have some lettuce that I'll need to use up. So we'll do like a canned chicken on top of a salad, just to have a protein with it, and then use that up. Probably leftovers on Wednesday, leftovers or in a rut, PBJ, whatever works there. And then maybe some chicken sandwiches on Friday. So now I'm going to plop in my evening meals because I have some ideas already in mind. All right, so this is kind of what I got in mind. I might switch a few things around, but since Valentine's Day is on Saturday, I already have T-bone steak laying out. So we're going to do steak, potato, veggies. These T-bone steaks are so large, so I'm going to have 2 of them. So I might end up taking off one of these evening meals, okay? So just know that. On Monday, or Sunday, excuse me, because my daughter's coming, I'm going to plan on meatloaf with flavored quinoa and a side salad. Probably maybe have 1 extra vegetable if her husband comes, just to make sure that they get full. Monday, I'm making this pork loin, and it's about, I'm going to say it's about a 3-pound pork loin. It's pretty big. So we're going to do the pork loin. I'll make that in the crock pot, and I'll just throw a side of fettuccine noodles and some cream sauce on the side. And I'll just make 2 servings of that. So hopefully there aren't any leftovers of that. But if there are, we're doing leftovers on Tuesday night, getting creative with that. On Wednesday, I'm going to take the meat from the pork loin, put it into a stir fry, and then serve that on rice. Thursday, I'm going to do, again, whatever leftover pork loin, or it could be steak as well, with mashed potatoes and a vegetable. And then we're just going to clean up the leftovers on Friday night, or we might go out. So that's kind of going to help me with my planning for my grocery list. Now let's go to my grocery list. So far, I already have milk, eggs. I want some fruit. So I'm not going to go get a whole thing of bananas. I'm just going to get like 2 bananas. I'm the only one who eats them. And I'm only going to probably pick up 3 apples because I already have about 4 of them in the refrigerator. I'm going to get a small bag of grapes because Jay really likes those. And I want to pick up a couple lemons and limes. Grabbing some lettuce, celery, carrots, a bag of potatoes, 2 avocados. I'm out of gallon baggies. I'm going to grab a small bag of shredded cheese for the quesadillas. I'm out of ketchup. He likes to have cereal sometimes, so if he doesn't want what I have planned for breakfast, that'll be on there. And then I'm going to be making a lemon bar recipe that calls for lemon cake, and I didn't have that. I have to double check my small vegetable oil. I need to have enough for the recipe. have enough, I'll cross that off, and then an 8-ounce cream cheese. And I'm just going to turn off the camera here real quick and add the rest of the things that I need for my list that we just went through. All right, didn't have to add too much because I actually have a lot of this already. So I'm going to pick up some blueberries because I really like to have blueberries in the morning for fresh fruit. I'll see what the price is on those. I have some onions in the refrigerator. I'm going to go and take a quick peek at those. I might be crossing that off because I'm pretty sure the onions I have are okay. But sometimes when I leave them in the refrigerator, they get a little funky, and then I'm like, don't think I'll get those. I did add an extra thing of lettuce because if the kids come, I might have that lettuce salad and then I want to use it later. So I might grab 2, kind of depends. Sometimes I just go with 1. I really don't want to have to run back to the grocery store this week. And then I've got soy sauce and mayonnaise for condiments, but I pretty much have everything else on the list. How is making a list going to save me money? Well, hopefully I'm not going to be buying things that I don't need. And I'm not like in a financial crisis at all. But each time I go to the store, it's just like I cannot believe the prices on things. And I do visit a lot of like mom and pop shops. And so sometimes it's a little bit more expensive, but I think I can actually stick to this. There are a few other stops that I'm going to make for some things that I just need personally, like hairspray and some other things that I used up on my trip that I need to go and pick up. But other than that, I'm not going to spend too much time shopping. So I will put together this, my final video and add it to this, and then we'll look at how much I actually did spend. One of the reasons I like going to Aldi is I can save a lot of money. So I ended up with 3 bags of groceries for right around $86 for the whole week. You saw that I was, what was my dog doing out there? That I was going to make, planning for 3 meals a day for the next 7 days. I think I planned out for 7 days. So that's basically a little over $7 a day. So I'm going to unbox it so you can see what I picked up, but just know that I have some other things that I have in the refrigerator and the freezer as well to go along with it. All right, we've got a brand new flavor of chip that I haven't tried yet. Chips are my nemesis. Some people love cookies. I love chips. Jalapeno ranch. The verdict is still out on those. We got the cheddar and sour cream, and then of course the Pringles. And so these are actually going to be delivered to my husband for a quick snack. I am making him lemon bars for Valentine's Day, and that's one of the parts of the recipe. And so I picked that up. Oops. We've got the bags that I needed, the soy sauce for this week's stir fry. I'm running low on the ketchup, and I'm making meatloaf. I gave my kids the choice of meatloaf. They are coming on Sunday. I needed to get some more oil for cooking, and I decided that I like to have coconut oil on hand, so I will just melt some of this down. I only need a couple tablespoons to go into this recipe, so I'm going to use that. I love the organic juices that I can get there. It doesn't matter to me if they're organic or not, but pretty simple as far as like what the ingredients are. And I just like to just add a little bit of that to my water to make myself feel like I'm having a fun soda. And a lot of times I just use my Italian sparkling water. This is something that was not on my list. That was a splurge. I will have to look at the price to see how much I paid on that. And then we're running, I've got some mayonnaise in the cupboard, but I wasn't 100% sure if it was out of date, because sometimes that happens to me and I'm thinking, oh, I've got what I need, and then that's not the case. I want to let you know that I did end up going over to Baker's as well to get a couple of items, but for the most part, this all comes directly from Aldi. Let's see here. This actually did not come from Aldi. So that was the Baker's, and that was $2.59. And then I also picked up 3 bags of chocolates, one for my husband for Valentine's Day, one for both of my parents. And so we will be delivering them hopefully tomorrow. So that was actually an extra $41.56 on the haul, which we're not actually going to count, just this $2.59. Okay, let's go into the produce and cold bag here. As soon as I find the Aldi receipt, we'll know exactly what I spent. It was right around $86. So I'm going to say that 3 bags is probably, yeah, $86 to $88 if we include that cake mix. We have Baby Bell mushrooms. We've got the small container of the blueberries. They have such great antioxidants in them. I love them. We have a small bag, or the regular size bag, of Brussels sprouts. They didn't look too browned up on the end, so that was good. I got myself some fresh celery. I can never eat the whole thing of celery during the week, but I do like to have that on hand. So if I'm wanting this, I'll go for this. And the broccoli looks pretty green this week, so that's good. The cream cheese goes along with the bars that I'm going to make. We have a small bag of carrots. I don't get the big bag. They have one that's a little bit bigger than this one as well. I was going to get ahead of the lettuce. It was $2.79, and I think this was also right around the $2.49, $2.79 mark. I like to have coleslaw on hand. I'm going to save this for Sunday night when the kids come over for supper. We got a gallon of milk. My son-in-law likes to drink milk, so he will help us drink that. I don't drink milk like that. So I got the smallest bag of red grapes that I could find. I tried to find a really small head of cauliflower. Of course, I've got the potatoes, the avocados, the apples, the lemons. I don't like the lemons that are the seedless lemons because I find that they aren't very, I don't like the quality of the taste as much. It's just me. I like to have the seeds in them. I got the limes. I like to add lemons and limes to my water. So I will have that on hand. I was out. I won't have to buy that for a number of weeks now. I was not planning to get dates. I got those. I have an older bag in the refrigerator. They're kind of hard, Nikki. I could probably soak them, but I'm just going to start with this bag. And then sharp cheddar cheese. And then 2 containers of their gold hen eggs. And so all of that was, and I'm going to grab my receipt here. Let's see, I don't want to give anything away on my receipt, so let's cover this part up. I'm going to fold it because you don't need to have any of my identifying information here. Was $86.94, and you can see the prices. So we had relatively good prices, and that again is why I like to go to Aldi. And it probably tells me how many items I bought. Let me just look and see. 32 items for $86.94. And all of that is going to supply the entire week's menu, minus the meat that I'm going to use that I've already prepaid for, that's in the refrigerator. And so we are good to go, and we will even have leftovers at the end of the week. All right. I'm going to end this recording. Make sure that you like and subscribe for more more videos, more things that you want to learn about. If you want to know about my weekly shopping habits, I'll be happy to tell you that. And yeah, like and subscribe and share.